He laughed at her dress in front of the whole restaurant, but when she slowly removed her wig, every single person went silent and the billionaire's smile disappeared forever. The camera zooms in on the man's frozen face. The background noise fades. That moment changed both their lives forever. Rain poured softly outside the glowing windows of the Golden Pearl, the most luxurious restaurant in the city. Inside, Ethan Vale, a 33-year-old billionaire tech CEO, adjusted his designer watch impatiently. He was tall, confident, the kind of man who'd built empires but lost pieces of his soul doing it. Tonight was supposed to be another one of those pointless blind dates his assistant arranged. He never believed in love, not anymore. Money, reputation, and control were the only languages he understood. Then she walked in. Lena Carter, wearing a simple, long, pale blue dress that looked hand-sewn. Her shoes weren't designer. Her hands trembled slightly as she clutched her small purse. But her smile had warmth, the kind that could melt stone. Ethan glanced up and nearly chuckled. "That's her?" He leaned toward the waiter and muttered, "Looks like I'm having dinner with Cinderella before the ball." Lena heard it. Her smile faltered, but she still walked toward him. "Hi," she said softly. "You must be Ethan." "Indeed," he replied coolly. "And you must be the one my assistant thinks can change me. He gave a sarcastic grin, eyeing her from head to toe. "Interesting choice of dress. Vintage or thrift store exclusive?" Her face turned pale, but she didn't respond. Instead, she gently sat down, her posture calm yet quietly wounded. Ethan continued his arrogant remarks, asking about her job, her background, her lack of expensive jewelry. Lena answered kindly, never defending herself. But there was something unusual about her eyes, deep sadness, yet incredible strength. As the night went on, Ethan started to notice something strange. She never once reached to fix her hair, never let the candlelight hit her directly, almost as if she was hiding something. Finally, she excused herself and stood up. "Ethan," she said softly, "thank you for your honesty tonight." He smirked. "At least one of us has style and confidence." She nodded slowly. "You're right. But sometimes, confidence doesn't come from what we wear. It comes from what we've survived." Before he could react, Lena reached up and gently removed her wig. The entire restaurant gasped. Underneath was her bare scalp, fragile, smooth, yet beautiful. Ethan froze. His laughter died instantly. "I had cancer last year," she whispered, her voice trembling but steady. "I'm still healing. The dress, my mother made it for me before she passed away. I didn't come here to impress you, Ethan. I came here to believe that I could still be loved, even after everything." For the first time in years, Ethan had no words. Ethan couldn't sleep that night. Her words echoed in his mind, "I came here to believe I could still be loved." He realized how hollow his world was: luxury cars, penthouses, fake friends, shallow dates. All built on pride. The next day, he found himself searching for her. His assistant told him Lena worked part-time at a small children's hospital, volunteering to read stories to kids undergoing cancer treatment. When he arrived, he saw her wearing that same blue dress, surrounded by giggling children with tiny bald heads. She read them stories with such light in her eyes that it felt like she was giving them pieces of her soul. She looked up and saw him standing at the door, holding a bouquet, simple white lilies. No suit, no watch. Just a man stripped of pride. "Ethan," she said, surprised. He stepped forward. "I came to apologize," he said softly. "And to thank you. For showing me what strength really looks like." Lena smiled faintly. "You don't owe me anything." "Yes, I do," he replied. "You reminded me that compassion means more than status." I mocked the only person in that restaurant who was truly brave. They sat together as the children played. Ethan donated a massive fund to the hospital that day, but he didn't tell anyone. He just quietly joined Lena's reading group every Friday, listening, learning, changing. Months passed. Ethan's arrogance melted away, replaced by humility. Lena's health improved, her laughter became freer, and slowly, she started trusting again. One evening, at the same restaurant where they'd first met, Ethan arrived early. This time, he wore something simple and waited patiently with flowers. When Lena walked in, she looked radiant, hair starting to grow back, hope shining in her eyes. Ethan stood and said, "You once told me confidence comes from what we've survived. You helped me survive my own emptiness." "Thank you." Tears filled her eyes as she whispered, "You found your heart again, Ethan." And he smiled softly. "No, Lena. You found it for me." The camera pans out, their hands clasped, the city lights glowing behind them. Never judge someone by what you see. Everyone carries invisible battles, and sometimes, the ones who've lost the most, have the most love to give. True beauty isn't in appearance. It's in courage, kindness, and the strength to love even when life breaks you apart.